Hello and welcome to Lesson 7, page 53 in the Pre-Level 1 book. This is the song titled Dark Forest. And today, students, we're going to be reviewing our notes. C, D, and E flat is all we're going to need for this song. And then we're going to learn this song by breaking up each line into these smaller patterns or groups. So it's a little bit easier to understand the rhythms because with all the running notes we see in this song can make it a little bit challenging, but if we break it into smaller parts to practice, I think that is a really great way for us to be successful with this song. But let's start with our notes. They're in the top right corner of our book. We have C, D, and E flat. Remember, here's our flat symbol that'll be next to E, and so that's what makes what we call E flat. Okay, so heading over to our piano, I'm going to find a group of two black keys, and I'm using middle C. The next note I'll be using in between my group of two black keys, the white key D. And lastly, we have E flat. Remember, a fun way to find that is you can find the note E first, and then we pretend we got a flat tire, right? And we go down, which is to the left, to the next closest note, which is E flat. It's the second black key in the group of two black keys. Again, so to review our notes, C, D, and E flat. Now, to cover the notes in this song, I recommend you try putting one finger on middle C, and then use two fingers for D and E flat, just like this. And remember, your students, your fingers don't need to be like perfectly straight when we play this all together. You know, we can move our hands over just a little bit to make it more comfortable to play these notes. But it's going to be really helpful to have two fingers on D and E flat, so we can do the running notes back and forth like this. That's why I like to put two fingers here. But you can also switch that around. You can do two fingers in the left hand, C and D, and one finger on E flat. And if you wanted to just use one hand, maybe two fingers, and you can use one finger on D and E flat. Again, I prefer to get good like this. So let's do a little 1, 2, me, then you to warm up with our notes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to say 1, 2, me, then you. You're going to play and hold the notes with me. 1, 2, me, then you. Play a C. How about a D? Now an E flat. How about a D? E flat. D. E flat. D. C. One more C. Great job. So we're only using 3 notes in this song, so that helps us a little bit. But let's look at our rhythms in the first line. We have running notes, walk notes, and at the end we have a half note. Wow, so 3 types of rhythms in this song. At the very end we have a whole note as well. And we'll talk about each of those rhythms individually, but I'm going to break the line in half right here. So let's focus on the first part of our line here. We have 2 pairs of running notes, running, running, and then 2 walk notes, walk, walk. Let's try and clap that together at a slow speed. So running, running, walk, walk. So running, running, walk, walk. I'll count us in. 1, 2, clap it, go, clap. Running, running, walk, walk. It's really important to be patient on those walk notes. We don't want them sounding like the running notes too. It's a little bit harder to feel the beat of the running notes when we slow them down, okay? Just remind yourself to be nice and patient on those walk notes. So there it is, students. There's our first rhythm group that we're going to play in this song because it shows up again in the third line. Okay, so that's why we want to get good at just this first section. Running, running, walk, walk. And let's look at the notes. D, E flat, D, E flat, C. C. The reason why this is a little bit tricky is we have two notes in one running note. On the first part of our running note, the run, we want to play a D. And on the second half of it, the ning, we want to play an E flat, running, or D, E flat. That's where using two fingers on your piano keys like this is going to be really helpful. So we can do running, running. Okay? And you should just practice that a couple of times back and forth, just D to E flat. I would get good on however you're going to play it with one finger or two, but just go running or D, E flat. And just say that along with it. And you can just keep going because we want to get really good at going back and forth between these two notes, okay? And then we also have at the end our walk notes on C. C, C. So let's try it together nice and slow. Running, running, walk, walk. Okay? 1, 2, here we go. And running, running, walk, walk. Excellent job. Want to be patient on those walk notes when we play. Let's go to the second half of our line. We have two running notes again, D, E flat, D, E flat, which we already know. And then, hey, our first half note. Remember, half notes get 2 beats. When we clap them, we clap our hands together and then pull our hands down like this. We can do hold for 2, or we could say half note. Let's clap the second half of our first line, running, running, walk, walk. 1, 2, clap it, go, clap, running, running, hold for 2. Very good. Running, running, hold for 2, or a half note. And now let's get ready to play it on our pianos. We're going to do our D, E flat, that same running pattern that's happening, and then land on our C. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Play running, running, hold for 2. Excellent job. Now it's time for us to put the whole line together. Running, running, walk, walk, running, running, hold for 2. Okay, so let's try the whole line nice and slow together. Hands ready for line number 1. 1, 2, here we go. Play running, running, walk, walk, running, running, hold for 2. And then we let go. Excellent job. We're now ready for line 2. And remember, line 1 is the same thing as line 3 in this song. So get lots of practice with that. And once you finish the first line, you've actually finished half the song. So now looking at line 2, look how many running notes we have in a row. How many are there? 4 altogether. So we want to keep track of those running notes. We can actually break this line in half just like this. Second half's really easy, 2 half notes with 2 C's. But students, you don't want to get lost in these running notes. A lot of time what I see is a lot of us will stop right around this third one. We're not sure how many we've played, right? So keep your eyes on the music and, keep your eye on each running note as you play them, okay? Let's do that together. We're going to clap this 4 running notes in a row, but I want your eyes on each running note as we clap them. 1, 2, clap it, go, clap, running, 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 running. Excellent job. And now we're going to add our D and E flat to those running notes. Remember that pattern, just back and forth. D, E flat, running. Let's try it. Hands ready. First half of the second line. 1, 2, here we go. Play. Running, running. Two more. Running. Awesome. And if that feels too fast, slow it down. Just go back and forth. Running. Okay? You will get it back and forth. You want to master going back and forth between D and E flat on our running notes. Second half of the line, we have 2 half notes. Hold for 2 or half note. Let's go ahead and clap it just for the practice, okay? 1, 2, half notes, clap, and hold for 2, half notes. Great. And now we're just going to put the whole line together because I think this part will be easy for you on its own. So let's just add it on to our running notes because we need lots of practice with that running note pattern. Okay, line number 2. Here we go. 1, 2, line 2, play, and running, hold for 2, and hold for 2. Great work. Moving on to line number 3, we're going to play the whole thing because it's exactly the same as line number 1. And we're going to get in that extra practice. Here we go. Line number 3. 1, 2, here you go. And D, E flat, D, E flat, C, C, running, hold for 2. Awesome job. And looking at our last line, it is the same as line 2, but there is a difference, which is our whole note at the very end. Remember, the whole note's like 2 half notes put together, so we have 4 beats at the end of our song, but still our 4 running notes, 2 half notes, and then an extra whole note at the end of the line. Let's get ready to try line number 4, and don't forget that extra whole note at the end. Here we go, nice and slow. 1, 2, last line, play, and running, 2 more, running, hold for 2, another half note, hold for 2, here's the whole note, hold, 2, 3, 4, and release. Great work, students, going line by line on Dark Forest. Again, this can be a tricky song, but just get good at the parts that we mentioned before trying a whole line, okay, if you're having any trouble. This going back and forth between D and E flat. Make sure you know which finger's on C, because you're playing all sorts of C's throughout the song. But really, the main challenge is just getting those running notes between D and E flat. So take your time, and when you're ready, you can play along to these full performances we're going to try. So let's go back to the beginning and do our first full performance of the song. Hands ready. 1, 2, here we go. And running, walk, running, hold for 2, line 2, running, hold for 2, hold for 2, line 3, running, walk, running, hold for 2, last line, running, 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 running. Hold for 2. Hold for 2 in the whole note. Hold 2, 3, 4. Fantastic job, and let's go back to the beginning and try it at a little bit of a faster speed. 1, 2, here we go. And running, running, walk, walk, running, running, hold for 2, second line, running, 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 hold for 2, hold for 2, third line, running, running, walk, walk, running, running, hold for 2, last line, running, 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 hold for 2, and hold for 2, and hold 2, 3, 4, and off. Congratulations on completing Dark Forest, and I will see you on the next song.